Hello everyone. Welcome to the session number 4 on trainer black model. So we have started deriving the formula, and still we are in the middle of deriving the formula. So this is where we have ended in the previous class. This is a scenario where we ended in the previous class. So what we have done, we have started with the optimal weight portfolio model of maximizing the Sharpe ratio, and one by one in the previous three sessions, in the previous three videos, I have shown you how you can derive one formula over the other formula, and we are in the process of deriving the ideal weight under the trainer black model. Let me open another worksheet of going further. So before that I open another sheet, let me write it down whatever we have done till now. So this is the weight that is equal to the alpha of the active portfolio into alpha of the active portfolio 1 minus beta of the active portfolio plus rm into variance of residual variance divided by the variance of the market. This is where we ended. So let me open another sheet. Fine. So here this is what we are going to do. So click on this. So now now this now so the weight, when we talk about the weight, so the weight as per the trainer black model till now what I have derived is the alpha of the active portfolio divided by alpha of active portfolio 1 minus beta of the active portfolio plus rm into a residual variance divided by the variance of the market. Now what we do, what you can assume for the time being, for determining the initial weight under the trainer black model, we assume that the beta of the active portfolio, we assume that the beta of the active portfolio is equal to 1. Just for this is just a hypothetical case. We are just doing this hypothetical case because what we want to determine the ideal position. So if you assume that, then if you assume that case, then what you get, then you get the weight. That weight would be equal to alpha of active portfolio and 1 minus beta, and beta if I taken 1, so I'll get the return, excess return on the market into the residual variance divided by the variance of the market. This is what you get. Now going further, what you can write, you can write this as the weight is equal to the alpha of the active portfolio divided by the residual variance of the active portfolio, this all together divided by the excess return of the active portfolio divided by the variance of the market. So this is called as initial weight. This is called as the initial weight. This is called as the initial weight of the active portfolio. So this we called as the initial weight. So when we work on the trainer black model, what we'll do, we'll determine the initial weight. So this is very important. This basically talks about the active composition between the active portfolio and the passive portfolio, where alpha of the active portfolio divided by the residual variance, that is called as the information ratio. That is called the information ratio. And this basically represent the passive portfolio. So so this information ratio basically talks about the ideology of portfolio creation, where you want to maximize your return, where the objective is to generate the positive alpha. So this way you will get the initial position of the active portfolio. I will continue our discussion from here so that we can determine the final position of the active portfolio. Remember this formula. This formula is very important. let me check the time. Okay, 5 minutes is done. So where I was, Treynor black model 4, wait, what minute? Okay, so I am here. So now going back, let me open another sheet only. Okay, so as per the initial weight formula, I got the formula as the alpha of the active portfolio divided by the alpha of active portfolio 1 minus beta of the active portfolio plus RM into the residual variance divide by the variance of the market. This formula I got before, right? You remember, I believe everyone remember. Now what we did in this formula, I assumed that the beta of the active portfolio is 1. So from this formula we got that the weight of the active portfolio as the alpha of the active portfolio divided by the residual variance divided by the excess return on the market divided by the variance of the market. So this was this formula you derived, that you called as the initial position. This formula you got because you assume that the beta of portfolio as 1. So let's not work on deriving that the beta of the portfolio as 1. So let's ignore, let's talk about the scenario where the beta of the portfolio is not 1. So beta of the portfolio is not 1. So the weight of the active portfolio would be alpha of the active portfolio divided by the alpha of the active portfolio 1 minus beta of the active portfolio plus the return on excess return on the market into residual variance divided by the variance of the market. Now what you do on this, what you can do on this, multiply the variance of the market with both numerator and denominator. So you get alpha of the excess return into the variance of the market divided by now this you can write as the alpha of the active portfolio into variance of the market into 1 minus beta of the active portfolio plus RM into residual variance. Okay, now what you do, once what I have done here, I multiplied the variance of market with both numerator and denominator. Once you get this, now what you do, once you get this, now what you do, this variable, uh, multiply numerator and denominator with this variable. So if you multiply numerator and denominator, divide by this variable, so not multiply, divide by this variable, so you get alpha of the active portfolio into variance of the market divided by the RM into the variance of the residual variance divided by the alpha of the active portfolio into variance of the market into 1 minus beta of the active portfolio divided by the RM into the residual variance plus 1. Now if you notice guys, what is this? If you notice guys, this is nothing but the initial weight, if you remember. Fine. So if you remember, this is nothing but this is the initial weight. So from this you can get the formula that the final weight of the active portfolio is equal to initial weight of the active portfolio 1 plus the initial weight of the active portfolio into 1 minus beta of the active portfolio. Let me see the time. Anyway, now I have very limited time, so I'll finish this very fast. Fine. So I think where I am, oh my god, so where I was, basically document 5, document 6. So I got this formula guys. So this is the final formula. This is the final weight of the active portfolio. What is the value I'll get if I subtract 1 minus final weight of the active portfolio? I'll get the final weight of market. So this is the formula to get the final weight of active portfolio and the final weight of the market. So this is the derivation what I was trying to discuss.